Hi, Divine Rebels, Bohemia with Bohemian Stars and Ocean Heart readings, and today we are going to do a reading throwing back to a spread I've been using for years. I don't remember where it originated. It was just like circulating the tarot community long before pick-a cards were super blowing up on YouTube. They were on that, they were popping on other places like on Facebook, and then they started on Insta. But this spread is a simple 3-card spread. There's like a bajillion spreads you can make from 3-card spreads, so you probably know, especially if you're new at tarot, you'll see so many spread suggestions. Sometimes it can get tedious after a while. You're like, okay, come on, another 3-card. But sometimes it's really good and efficient, and this is one of my favorite 3-card spreads, and it is Know, Show, and Grow, and it's a really good daily one to do. It's a good one if you're learning the cards, to see the cards show up in different ways if you're trying to see how they interpret different questions. And I feel like it just has like a lot of good real answers. So I'm feeling good today. It's early in the morning, it's beautiful, and like, well, it's beautiful to a water sign. It's kind of overcast and rainy. All the trees are dripping, and it's a Pisces moon. It feels good to me. It'll be a conjunction here in a minute with Pisces and Neptune, almost there, and our Pisces and the moon in Neptune. Oh wait. The moon and Neptune and Pisces. See what I'm saying? Very dreamy, very dreamy. I had a crazy dream last night. Actually, that was a little like, or this morning, I was like, what? Say what? It was a little creepy, but anyways. I came out of it though, right? Because lucid dreaming and controlling your dreamscapes and just kind of being able to have more control in that way is, at least for us Pisces, how we feel under the Pisces energy. Everyone else is probably like, oh my gosh, what's happening? But other than that, it feels very dreamy in a good way. Anyways, I digressed. I do want to give a little update. So yesterday, which will be uploading, well, it's uploaded already, I'll be posting it after I record this. I talked in a video about this different healthcare stuff from, or skincare from Ancient Cosmetics, and I did utilize them, so I want to give a little feedback. I was going to do it on the live, but a lot of people who watch the recorded might not watch the live, which, why don't you? No, some of y'all are working and stuff, and I don't always leave the lives up, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you know on this one. So I had used the hibiscus and French clay face mask. It also has lavender. It's 3 ingredients, as you can see here. And so well, let me tell you the whole thing first. I also used the healthy scrub turmeric body scrub here, and this has since it's small, I'll read it: pure cane sugar, avocado, frankincense oil, the avocado was oil, lemon essential oil, turmeric powder, and the liquid radish root ferment. And then I also was using this one, which is calendula and geranium. This is an eczema relief cream that we use for baby magic, but I also use it myself sometimes. It's like, shea butter, coconut oil, geranium essential oil, olive oil, and infused calendula flower energy. There's no sulfates, parabens, gluten, DEA, synthetic color, or animal testing, made in the USA. This is a Black-owned family company, and I've loved this eczema cream. It really saved baby magic skin. So to have baby skin and have baby eczema, that's like the sensitive of the sensitive, and she had winter outbreaks that nothing would work on with a lot of home remedies. And well, I say home remedies, but I can do the herbal cure, but then I saw this and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get that, stop worrying about it, and it works so well. He actually formulated it for his son when he was a child, but it also works on skin and hair that does not have eczema as well. And I did even run it through my hair, and my curls were popping, okay, because it's all like shea butter and all that, right? So with this one, I did use it, so I'll show you. I used quite a bit. I did a deep scrub, a deep body scrub everywhere, like a spa day version, all right? And I'm tall and thick, so if that gives you an estimate of how much you would have if I wasn't doing such like a, super scrub. I just really wanted to go for it. I probably would have used like maybe half of what I did, but still there's like at least 2 uses in there. This was free with the purchase of this, which is 1 ounce. Now this, look at, they said this is only supposed to be 3 uses worth of mask, but you could barely tell I used this. I'll open it and show you, but it kind of fluffs up. Isn't that gorgeous? It smells tangy like hibiscus, but yeah, look, I barely used any, and I did it on my face and my décolleté, my neck and upper chest area. So this one, I will let you know, this looks like your deep blood when you haven't had your moon cycle for a while, or red velvet cake mix, whichever you prefer to think of it as when you're using it. It definitely could be super cool if you are doing beauty routines that you're using that energy of like the red color, or symbolizing DNA or anything symbolic. Like if you're making a moon, for those who like celebrate when someone gets their moon cycle, if you're making like a care kit for that, this would be something that you could put in there that would be cool. It's very kind of, you can feel like the little fibers of it, of the green clay. It's very like green clay based. I usually don't use green clay so much. I use like I prefer like the activated charcoal mud, or like softer muds. Green clay can be a little bit drying to me. I have pretty even skin. I can use creams and oils. My skin doesn't really get oily. Sometimes since I had the baby, I'll get a little bit of T-zone every once in a while, but so that's just so you know, so you can compare and kind of have an idea. So this, yes, I put it everywhere. It's a mess. I'm glad I did it in the shower. So I scrubbed up with all this, and then I put on this, and I did it in the shower. I let it set, but then baby magic woke up, so it was on like 3 to 5 minutes. I think they said to put it on like 5 to 10, and normally you'd probably be letting it dry out a little more. I just don't like when green clay masks dry out too much, because then I can't, like, I hate how it feels. So I washed it off though. It dried enough for me, rinsed it off, went and took care of baby. However, if you have any, like I have a little bit of dry skin on my hand, because I didn't have, oh, you could hear it. I ran out of my hand cream, and I've just been shuffling so many cards that it's tearing up my hand, which is ridiculous, I know. So this will, like, it kind of stained my hands for a minute when I put it on, and then if you have any dry skin, it will kind of like stain that skin, which, I mean, it's dead skin, so that you can see it and buff it off. So I just buffed it off with this. This is even good on the feet, the cuticles, everything. It's soft. It's small sugars that are enough that they don't like cut you up. I didn't feel scraped up, and I have sensitive, like, smooth skin. But at the same time, like, it didn't melt away, because I've had some body sugar scrubs where it was small and fine, but then it was like, where to go? So this was like a perfect mix of the, I don't know, the size of the granules. Yeah, and it also has lemon, and it didn't like burn or hurt. It actually felt very smooth and glowy and moisturized. So then after I did the mask on my face, I ran out, got baby magic, tracking water through the house. She scared me. Someone, look at y'all, someone upstairs, the upstairs condo, dropped something right when baby magic started crying. So I thought she like somehow like fell out of her like sleeping thing or whatever. Scared me. I run out there. She was fine. It was upstairs. But yeah, so it was a little drying like on my face, more than I would like to feel. I like to feel a little more moisturized, popping out, even if I haven't put on my after shower creams or whatever. So this felt like that felt moisturized, just hopping out. But the part where I had this, it didn't. I did notice a few places where I had some little dry skin on my face, or like skin that, you know, to buff off that, and it could be because it had been kicked up by this, that it did, you could see the little red tint. So once I like buffed that off, then it was like fine. There was no stain on my face or anything, but it does kind of, you know, get all over. So I think it would be good if you do this mask to go in the shower after, and just do it there versus try to keep all the splash from all over your sink. And then I put this on, and I felt good. My skin feels nice and smooth. I still feel moisturized now. I did this like yesterday evening. Like literally it still feels the way that your skin feels sometimes after being moisturized. And I was all up in my blankets, you know, slept over the night and everything, and my skin feels like very dewy and nice. It can be if it's very humid. It was like really humid. I was boiling something on the stove. It was humid in the house. I'm in Iowa, so it's been humid lately and having to cut the air on. It did feel a little bit stickish with the humidity. We haven't used this in summer yet. We only used it in winter, but it went away, and it was kind of to be expected because it was just so humid in here. So anyways, that is my review. I'm sure some of you, you know, fast forward through it, but I really love to share. It's beautiful for the price, especially because this time I got something free. They always have little sales, and like right now you can get like 6, I think, of their body yogurts that are like the half size for $15, like or they'll have like different promotions. So I would definitely like subscribe to their email if you're interested. But again, a lot of these are natural products. A few others do have isolated synthetic like fragrance to them, but they're not like, I don't know what they said, they don't have like plastics or like any of the dangerous stuff. So they explain that these ones that I'm using are 100% essential oil natural without any synthetic drops in them. Yeah. So support their business. I really enjoy it. Okay, so getting into the reading portion. We are going to go ahead and, oh, I'm not sponsored, by the way, not sponsored at all, just so you know. I forgot to say that. They were very gracious and excited when they found out that I was, you know, even talking about their product on my Insta and on here. So yeah, so getting into it, we are doing the No Show Grow, or yeah, what should I know, what should I show, what should I grow? Sounds better than No Show Grow. This is Garnet. It looks like ruby, doesn't it? That's Garnet, still in the Matrix. Is that beautiful or what? That was actually a gift that someone gave me after a reading. They went to their house and was like, I have to gift you some crystals, and that was one of them. So that was so sweet. Number 2 is Aragonite, which I love, love, love. It always reminds me of the heart valves. It's good for transmuting like frustration and anger, especially if you hold it in your heart space, transmuting that outward so that you don't hold that literally kind of in the heart. We need to alleviate energy in that area. We have this gorgeous, delicious aquamarine. Yes. Pisces stone. Good for communication, protection over water, navigating the dreamscape, tapping into the muses and creativity. And we have Peridot in its natural form here in the Matrix. This is an alien stone. They actually find it in meteors coming through the atmosphere. So yes. Okay, so those are our options. 1 is Garnet, 2 is Aragonite, 3 is Aquamarine, and 4 is Peridot. And we're going to go ahead and get into it. Let me move these yummy products so I have room for the yummy stones. All right. Okay, start from 4 this time so it's stacked the way I need to grab them. Okay, for number 1, Garnet, we have No Show and Grow, and this deck will be listed down below. I felt to just use a very simple deck. I really like this deck. It's good for connecting even with ancestors and guides. It covers a lot, and it's my favorite gemstone deck. So if you're looking throughout, like I've had a lot of decks. This is my favorite one, and it'll be linked down below. All right, so for what should you know right now, you have kunzite, which is beautiful, beautiful stone. It's like a pink lavender into purple kind of stone. Very, very yummy. It's kind of like a higher vibration rose quartz, if that helps connect, like a rose quartz with the amethyst on the higher vibe. Children, the third eye, and the heart chakra. So that will let you know right there. So what should you know? For a lot of you that picked this one, it's time to spend more time with your children, or to think about what we are leaving the children. Even if you don't have kids and that's not your thing, you know, I saw today, Jason Momoa posted something on his story. It's like, I woke up to this and it was 80 something degrees on like one of the caps. Like, it's like the worst heat ever. The carbon dioxide is like the highest it's been ever in the history of humanity, kind of thing. So this is like, really think about future generations and what you're leaving to the rest of humanity, the creatures, you know, everything else, because, you know, we get caught up in our day to day. It's hard sometimes to, you know, stay eco-friendly, because everything is like almost anti-eco-friendly, unless we're going out of our way. It's getting better and better, but still, if you think about it, there's a lot that's not. And you know, for instance, in our condo complex, we don't have a natural recycling setup, and they're trying to, but like the city's giving red tape about it, and it's like, how is this a question? Like, just give us freaking recycling and compost, and like, it's not that hard, right? Yeah, so I know sometimes it's just people don't even have certain seemingly luxuries that would help, you know, like they don't live in an area that's green friendly, like LA or something, you know. So this is asking to really think about your future plans. What legacies are you leaving for those behind you, whether they're your own children, whether they're, you know, adopted, foster nieces, nephews, or just, you know, the children that are there in the elementary school, in your community, the world itself. You know, really think about what you're doing. So this is what you should know. You need to know more in that regard. Also, those of you who have children in your life, whether or not they're your own, you need to know a little bit more about what's going on with them. We have the third eye with the heart chakra. So this is being heart-centered. It's not out of control or power, but they might have something on their heart that they could really use your wisdom and guidance with. You know, some of you might pay attention and see maybe they're not being heard in school. Maybe they're feeling left out from friends or having a hard time fitting in. They could either have some third eye things that are coming up, such as maybe they are blossoming psychically, or they could have some heart chakra issues. Maybe, you know, it's been hard for them sharing custody, or maybe, you know, whatever those kind of personal things are that are going on in the children around you's life. Really letting them know that your heart is open, that they can communicate to you that how they feel matters, and that it's okay for them to share their insights and to like follow their intuition and let you know what they pick up. You know, it's very important for children to know that. Some of you, I'm getting, they're just at that age that if that's not really cemented, they might close it down. And a lot of times that happens with children. They're very third eye, heart chakra open, but at a certain age, if we keep not listening to them, or we never have the time for it, because we don't want to hear, oh, well, this person has to be in our life, so we don't want to hear what their third eye has to foresee about it. Or, you know, we don't have time for their feelings. We're on a schedule. It's not about their feelings. We're running errands. And then all those little shutdowns end up shutting them off completely at some point, and then we end up with some of the adults we have today. So it's really about listening, even if you feel like, well, I don't even have kids. Like, this could be how you treat children when you run to the grocery store or whatever. Those moments can really stick with kids, how adults treat them and what their worth is. And this is youth, you know, all children. Some people just think, oh, well, 8, 9, 10-year-olds. No, this is our teenagers too. Have a holding space for them. This is also for a lot of you going in. Of course, whenever children come up, a lot of times it's also our inner children, and that's usually why people don't have respect and care for children, is because they have issues with their own inner child, right? So, and you might not have issues, but you might have some more nurturing, more discovery, more connections to make with your inner child that will help you connect with your psychic gifts, that will help you connect with your love relationships and your giving and nurturing your personal boundaries with your heart energy, okay? So pay attention to that. Another thing that I'm getting is that children don't close down when they see things happening in the world. Like baby Magic, if we're watching something and someone stubs their toe or something, she's concerned, she cares. She doesn't say, oh, they're faking it. oh, they're just making it up. Why are they, this is not the place. Why are they being political and telling everyone that they stubbed their toe? You know, you know what I mean? Like, I'm using that adult voice because, like, think about that. We politicize people's pain and say because we consider it political, we're not going to acknowledge it and talk about it. Oh, but we're supposedly so heart-centered and such empaths, right? It's bullshit, right? You should see some of the comments that I get. You should, oh, no, you shouldn't. You should just know that these are things we need to make sure that we don't do. So for some of you, it's going back to thinking and feeling like a child. You need to know how to be a bit more childlike in your reactions to other people's pain, their love, you know, their discoveries, their concerns in the world, and see it the way that a child does, you know, with openness, with the willingness to foresee, you know, where this could go if we don't change things, and with true compassion, not just saying I'm an empath and then spiritually bypassing. Okay, so that's for no. For show, what should you show more? And this is also a card of a child. So a lot of you definitely have children around or really focusing on working with children energy. This is a throat chakra energy communication. Blue lace agate is a stone that I actually give children and recommend parents have when they are dealing with the part where children are trying to learn to communicate, but they're still very emotional about things. You know, they're used to crying and that's their language. So how do you get them to translate it into words so we know what's going on with them? Blue lace agate helps us to honor our emotions without repressing them, but to still be able to focus and communicate. And so for a lot of you, you have to show that more. You have to show that you care, just sitting again in the house and feeling like you have a big heart, but never doing anything about it, never going out there and listening to the voices of others and honoring them, or, you know, speaking out yourself if you have cares about certain things, or if you're in pain, you know, it doesn't help anyone. So you have to be willing to communicate more in your life and, you know, have strength about that. You have to be willing also to sometimes control your emotionality so that you can communicate, so the person can understand you, instead of just waiting until you explode in tears or fears or anger or whatever emotion, and then the person doesn't know like what is going on. It's just like this torrential outpour of emotionality without having kind of a concrete idea behind it or something that the person can follow, because they're just feeling inundated with all of this emotional like release. So yeah, working on showing, I think a lot of you have done a lot of emotional and communication growth, and it's time to show that. For some of you, this is going to be in writing. Some of this is it's going to be in your post, doing your stories, just allowing yourself to put out your thoughts and feelings in a more cohesive way. And again, this is also going both ways. I'm feeling it's very important because we have a lot of heart chakra energy here in this reading, is listening to others, communication, and honoring their voice without shutting them down, honoring even when they're speaking from an emotional place that doesn't negate what they're saying. So no show. And how to grow, this makes sense. We have Untitled here. Untitled is a stone of Scorpio. So we have a Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio, water energy, water trine energy here. And Untitled, it says live in the present, the heart chakra. This stone is like amazing for super deep healing, but doing it in a way that doesn't choke yourself out. So if there are traumas emotionally or sexually, this is a really good stone. It's pink and green, definitely a heart chakra energy. So this is bringing it into the real world. Again, you can have all this lofty impression of yourself that you're this empath and that you're a feeling person, but if you have to control others' voices or never can speak up yourself or do actions behind that, then, you know, it becomes not true, right? Again, it goes into bypassing, spiritual bypassing. So with the Untitled, it's talking about live in the present more. All of these things are valid, which is why, like, all of your fears and your traumas and hurts, which is why it's saying to process them better and speak about them. However, living in the present allows you to continue loving in spite of those things. It allows you to be more compassionate with others, and that's a big thing that I'm seeing here, is learning to be more compassionate and understanding with others and allowing others' voices to be heard. Again, not to the degree that you're thinking that they should always be, but to the degree that they feel them. Again, thinking of children being the first thing, to know the childlike way of connecting with someone. You know, a child, if you have the tiniest speck of blood, they will treat you the same way as if you cut your arm off. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, oh my God, this is an emergency. They're crying. You ever see a child freak out because another child's crying? But they're crying, you know, help them. Why aren't they're so compassionate? They're so alert. They don't say, you know, not when they're younger. When they're older and they've been a little bit more jaded by humans, then they start the, oh, you're faking it. Well, why do they start that? Because they hear that from adults, right? But their first instinct is to be so compassionate. So it's like, live in the moment, treat other people's situations as valid, their pain, their worries, treat their communications as valid, because when you don't, it's a mirror that it's coming from you not working on yourself and not treating your own as valid. But it's like there has to be space for both. So I feel like some people in this group, you're only validating your own emotional experiences and feelings, and you know, you shut down others, maybe in your partnerships or in the greater world, because you don't feel validated enough. And some of you are not validating your own and only ever other people's, right? So it's finding the balance of living in the present, balancing heart chakra situations with others and communication styles with others. So you're going to be growing a lot more. You're going to be growing through traumas and situations, and learning to live more at the present, or in the present. I guess it is a place and time, but yes. So that is your reading. Comment down below how it connected with you. I hope you liked this reading. I just felt to simplify it and use these beautiful gemstone cards. So I hope that you liked it and connect. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I'll talk to you soon. Yay! Number 2 was Aragonite. Yes, yes. And we have turquoise, beautiful, jade, and clear quartz. The decks will be down below. Okay, so what should you know, show, grow? What you should know right now is we have the energy of turquoise, balance. It says throat and heart chakra. So this is about, you have a lot of heart chakra energy as well. So I don't know if it's the Pisces moon bringing up those things for people, but so far we have a lot of heart chakra energy. You have needing to, like, turquoise helps everything. It's like one of the great healing stones, one of the great, you know, like shamanic medicine stones. It's just all around good. And the reason why on this card is because they're putting the throat and heart chakra energy together. So when we speak from the heart, when we are willing to talk about things that affect our heart energy, when we are willing to, you know, express ourselves, because the throat chakra is also about creativity and expression. When we're willing to express ourselves in those ways, and not just in the dramatic ways, not just in the ways where we are, you know, insulting ourselves and cutting ourselves down, kind of that Mean Girls thing, right, where we're expected to kind of be down on ourselves, or you know, I don't know, I'm feeling like some of you might be transitioning out of just having to, you know, feel very emo all the time, or feel like you belong to a scene where it's not cool to be happy. It's not cool to be, you know, to be able to emotionally express yourself, or you know, to kind of show love. And so there's a deeper healing that wants to happen here where you are able to do that. I'm also getting a big community feeling, to know that it's okay to show love to your community, and to go out and to you know, talk to people, to actually talk to people when you're at the grocery store or wherever. Like, you know, I know sometimes people are like, well, I don't like small talk, but why is it that we think connecting with another human being is small? Why do we think that it's insignificant? So you need to know the power of connecting with another human being, even briefly. Imagine like those moments where even on social media, someone just showed love on your post, or told you that they touched you, told you that like this post touched them, and that that, like, I don't know, it changed their day in some way. it's so powerful, and it can make you feel like if you're having the shittiest day and someone lets you know like, wow, like just the way that you were doing today, that was everything to me. I got something from that was, you know, wow. It can be so healing. So this is about you realizing your medicine, realizing how powerful your voice is and your heart space is when you allow yourself to compliment others, when you allow yourself to come from that good place. And I'm feeling some people like, oh, like maybe your heart chakra even shakes a little bit, or your throat chakra, it feels a little shy, a little embarrassed. Maybe even with your own partner, you guys have just gotten out of that space of, you know, giving each other compliments, talking in an appreciative way, in a deeper way to others, or letting others know how deeply they have affected you. Maybe you don't let, you know, even if it's like, I'm getting some people's like your subscribers, your followers, but also in a personal way, like from the greater scale down to the more intimate scale, letting others know how much that they mean to you, or how much those little things really keep you going. And it can feel vulnerable. You might feel like, well, I don't want them to feel like they have power over me or something. But no, like that's energy exchange. So when someone feeds into you that way, don't be afraid to show back that love. And you know, using YouTube as an example, that happens a lot. Like I will compliment people, put their videos on, give them ideas, and I'll see that they saw my compliments and stuff, because they'll utilize my ideas. Absolutely. Like they'll you know, make a whole video based on like concepts or suggestions or things, but they'll never show love and acknowledge that they saw that. And instead they'll just keep watching my stuff or watching the compliments. So after a while, you know, what does that feel like to those around you? It's like, you know what? It actually creates a power imbalance, because you're like, man, I don't feel like you appreciate me. And it's not that I needed that feedback, I genuinely gave to you. But if, you know, it's been like all this time and you can never be appreciative, it ends up feeling like being used, right? Or just taken advantage of or for granted. So those around you might feel that way. Whether, and maybe not in big ways, they might not even realize they feel that way, but it's going to be such a beautiful healing balm, and just like a nice, you know, love spa day basically, to add more compliments and genuine connection and just simple ways from you to others. Okay, and you might be needing that yourself, and that's a good thing to know as well. You might be needing that if you're like, man, like what is it in this relationship that like everything's fine, but what is it I'm missing? You might be needing those little intimate moments and like contact moments with the person throughout the day, where you just show little bits of love to each other. Nothing dramatic, just little intimate moments, and see if there's some way that you guys can communicate that and make that start happening in your life. I think it will help a lot. Now, what should you show? We got good luck, the heart chakra with jade. Now, jade is an amazing stone. It's so revered in like China, throughout Asia. It helps with finances and love. It's just a lucky, prosperous stone in so many different ways. Very protective and joyous, and I just love this energy here. So show, again, that's your biggest message, is show how much love that you have. Show how affectionate you are. I feel like you might like start typing like, oh my gosh, I love this post, I love this compliment, thank you for this text. You start typing all this big thing, and then you're like, no, like that's too much. Or like you get distracted and then you read it back and you're like, whoa, I don't want them to think I'm in love with them, so you delete it, right? And this is like, no, like put those compliments out. And then, you know, it's going to be good. It's going to show you some boundaries. You might discover that some people, they don't, you know, they're not respectful of that. And if so, they shouldn't be in your circle, because I feel like right now you are meant to allow yourself more heart space, to feel more loving energy. Just, you know, when you just grow that energy of loving energy and you just feel it around you, like you feel it in your home, you feel it in your car, like you deserve to have that space around you and to have that flow in your life. So it's time to open that up. It's also going to bring you good luck, right? And that's perfect, because when you have these really connect to people, when you're going out and about, it does make good luck. People start, you know, telling you little bits of tidbits of advice and news, passing on wisdom, giving you discounts. Like you feel lucky and blessed because you're witnessing all this joy and smiles and happiness in people. And it really does just grow and grow. It's, what is it called? Paying it forward. Paying it forward. So you should show, again, more paying it forward. You should also show that you know that you are good luck. Connect to the Jupiter in your chart. Right now, Jupiter is in Sagittarius, at home in its own sign. Some of you might be Sagittarius, actually, because this is a Sagittarian card. These are kind of neutral cards as far as astrology, and could be any and all, but this could definitely be Sag. And then also Pisces is traditionally ruled by Jupiter, and it's Pisces moon. So we might have some of y'all in this reading, or those parts of your chart might really be bringing you good luck right now, where Pisces, Jupiter, or Sagittarius is. So yeah, have that energy. Like, you walk through life different when you believe you're good luck, right? See Harry Potter with the Felis Felicis, right? When you think that you've had some good luck potion or juju, like you kind of strut or flow or glow through life a little differently. And it's like, carry that energy. Know that you're good luck and blessings to those who open their heart to you. You're a blessing in people's life. You're a blessing to those in your relationships. And when you show that, right, show them by actions, but also by the energy that you carry, people respond to that differently. All right. So yeah, it's all about expressing your heart space. A lot of hugs, a lot of connections. Some of you might be showing love to the earth and growing. I'm seeing a lot of gardeners here. Whatever way helps you open that up and start exuding out that energy and feeling very verdant with your love energies is a good way to go. Green is a great color for you. Green on into the turquoise colors are great meditation colors, or if you're redecorating at this time, to incorporate into your home and your space to keep that feeling of fullness and, lush and abundance and love around you. Now, where should you grow? We have clear quartz with meditation, the crown chakra. So crown chakra energies, this is being connected to the spiritual world, getting messages and downloads. This is being connected to your higher self and your spirit, where your ancestors will come through, your deities, your spirit guides. So some of you need to have a little bit more meditation time, more intimacy with spirit, with the spirit world. You will be growing in that. Clear quartz is really great when people especially don't really have much experience at all with meditation or any type of the clairs, right? Clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, any of those, which is different ways we receive through our senses messages from the spirit world, because quartz amplifies things. It's even in radio. It literally amplifies scientifically the vibes, airwaves, all that around it. So those of you who are not in setups, you just don't really ever put yourself in an energy that you would like to amplify, that can be a good kind of marker for you. Think about that. Like, throughout the day, are you ever in situations where you're in an energy where you're like, yeah, more of this energy would be great? Or are you constantly in energy places where you are just like, oh no, like, ugh, I hate this energy, I don't want this, I want less of it? So try to get yourself, that could be the first, like, very basic step, like premeditation, premeditated in the spiritual sense. Okay. The first step to do is to get yourself in places where you would even like the energy, right? Because how can you meditate when you're learning, at least, or when you're trying to get back in the habit, in the middle of chaos? That can be very hard. So the first step, just get yourself in a place where you like the energy. That's a form of meditation. Okay, you know what? I feel good when I go for a walk. I feel good when I watch this rain through the window, or I stick my hand out for this rain. That's meditation. It's sacred time where you are letting your subconscious and your spirit self rest and listen. Rest and receive communication, or just rest. Okay. So starting in those ways, and then walking yourself more when you feel like, oh, you know what? I feel really good when I watch these waterfall videos. Like, I want to amplify that. It takes me to a good place. You're increasing meditation. You're increasing that. And soon enough, messages and insights and all those, aha moments will come. First, just focus on feeling a good energy, connecting to a good vibe. Okay. So that is your reading. I hope you liked it. Please comment down below, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Yay, number 2s. Now for number 3, those of you who chose Aquamarine, this is gorgeous chunk. we have so much heart chakra in these readings today. Oh my gosh. We have obsidian. We have malachite. I was making sure I was doing them in the right order. Oh, that was squeaky. Squeaky clean, some folks. Time to clean. We have seraphonite. All right, and this deck will be linked down below. It is my favorite crystal deck. There's a lot of options, but the subjects it covers, the way it does the chakras, and just how it looks with both the small tumbled version and the zoom in, it's just my favorite. I get a lot of ancestor communication and spirit guides and all that. You know, angel connections can all communicate very well through this past life reading. So I just really like it. It works for me. So for anyone who is thinking about different crystal decks, that's my 2 cents. All right, so this is the know, show, and grow. So what should you know right now? It is time to protect yourself. We have obsidian protection, the root chakra. So a lot of black stones are good for protection. They help ground us in the physical realm and to take out and absorb any negative energies. Black encompasses all light spectrums. So it can take in any energies that are coming that are not good, right? So one of the more recent examples of this is when she went to the Met Gala last year. Solange carried Florida water, which is a cleansing water in hoodoo and voodoo and like Santeria, a lot of the African spiritualities, and she had a black obsidian in her little fishnet bag that she carried, right? So clean, sending off all that negative energy, you know, absorbing any hate that was coming her way there on the red carpet or afterwards, right? So obsidian really takes care of us. Stones like obsidian and tourmaline are really great if you've been having too much spiritual negativity or just activity in general that you're not really wanting. You grounding the 4 corners of your basement is a great way to go, even if you only have small pieces right now, or you know, if you don't have a basement, just you know, whatever is the base floor of your home is really good to do to ground your apartment and set energetic boundaries, right? Then you can also pair it with like a selenite if you want to bring in other, you know, vibrational spirits that you allow in, right? But obsidian helps to put firm boundaries, kind of like black salt. So yeah, it's time to protect the issues concerning your root chakra. You might think that you have those under hold, but they need more attention. So this is things like, where are you banking? Do you have security system around your home? Who do you let around you and your family's physical bodies? Is that a safe situation? How do you use your resources? Who has access to your resources and your finances? All of those kind of things are root chakra issues, because if we don't have protection there, we end up going into survival mode. You know, it's almost the first of the month, those kind of things, and not feeling protected, not feeling safe. So it is important right now that you pay attention when you have those moments where you don't feel safe, or when something's alerting you, I don't feel protected, which could be, you know, walking at twilight by yourself or any of those kind of things. So take extra precaution not to put yourself in physical danger, financial danger with your resources at this time. This also means protecting yourself from things like foods that would be harmful, cigarette smoke, things that just aren't beneficial to your physical body, right? That root chakra energy. All right. So that's what's important for you to know right now. Please, if you have been putting off checkups in healthcare, this is saying it's time to go in and do your checkups in your healthcare. Okay. Now, for number 2, for the second portion, I should say, what should you show to the outside world? We have malachite, nature, the heart chakra. Malachite is this powerful stone. It connects to like Leo. It's very regal, very, very powerful stone. It can be overwhelming for some to wear and carry. It's been used in the crowns of royalty all over the place for eons. yeah, it's like definitely like a magician magical kind of stone, but in a very reserved, intense, like opaque kind of way. So this is saying nature and the heart chakra. One, going out connecting to nature can be what just empowers you and revitalizes you. And it's important that you show your support to nature right now. This is your call, from Mama Earth to be there for her, show compassion to her, set good examples to others through your platform, through your life, through how you're teaching the young ones, things of that nature, how you're teaching the elderly, the older generations. Really have nature's back and show compassion, to treat it the way that you would think that a king, a queen, an emperor, an empress would need to treat their subjects and treat their land, right? Have responsibility and sustainability and nurturing towards every bit of earth that's around you. Anytime things of your concern come into contact with the things that will be going into the earth. This is also about showing your essential heart chakra nature, which is very beautiful because this means that you do have a good nature of heart, right? Some people, their heart chakras, it's not the most natural thing to have empathy, compassion, care, love, kindness. Some souls, they struggle with that as they've gone through their incarnations. It's just not what's easy for them. Maybe they're stronger in root chakra issues. For you guys, while you're working on your root chakra issues, you have amazing heart energy when you put yourself there, and when you get out of survival mode and get into your heart-centered spaces. So this is saying, don't fear. Sometimes it's just like in the most basic way, like we love a song but we don't know if we should share it. Is that whack? Is that going to ruin our business? Or it's like, what, don't worry about that. If it feels good to your heart space, delve into it, share it, express it. And at first people might be like, what, that's weird, but eventually they're gonna more and more catch on, and people are inspired and probably take things from your essential nature more than you even realize. So it's like, realize that you have authenticity, you are an original, and you're only going to know that more and more by listening to what it is that your heart first connects with, that you're inspired with, that you want to create yourself, and sharing that with others. Otherwise, if you only go, by editing yourself with what other people will respond well to, what they'll like, and all of that, you're never going to be fully authentic, even if you also like those things. But if you're only doing those versions of things and not what you really wanted to express, what you really wanted to say, where you really wanted to go or dress or hear, it's never going to be your full, deeper self. And so this is letting you know that your inner nature, your heart energy is beautiful. You should rule and work that just like a queen, just like a diva, and it's like when people are in that energy, that's when people are like, oh my God, I had sent a meme to Nat Hughes, and it was like when people with Beyonce, how they'll be like, oh my God, someone was like, people trip over everything she does. If she was just breathing, you'd be like, man, she takes just the right amount of air in and breathes the right amount of air out. But sometimes when you really connect to your nature, that's how you seem to others, right? Because they'll just like, wow, like, I love how you do you. Like, you're just sitting there eating that cantaloupe. I love how you eat that cantaloupe. Like, because you're living in your heart. You're living what gives you joy. You're just enjoying your juicy cantaloupe. Oh my God, I'm struggling right now, y'all. But right, it's life and it's fun, right? Life's a little fruity pebble sometimes. I mean, hashtag Pisces. So that's what it's about. You pick the Piscean stone, the Aquamarine, the Neptunian energy. So allowing yourself to go into, look at your moon sign, your Venus sign, your Neptune, and see how you can just delve more in to what feels good to you. And people are going to appreciate that and just be like, man, you so weird sometimes, but I dig it, and they might be behind. It might be 3 months later, they're finally catching up to the music and the food and whatever that you like. And you're like, hey, I put you on to that. Don't even try to pretend that wasn't me, but yes, it is valid and beautiful, you being who you are. And it's saying to show that out into the world. Now, for how you should grow, we have honesty. Ooh, the heart and the third eye chakras. Seraphonite is angel energy, so you might be having some angel messages. That's the seraphim. You can use that stone to connect to those realms. Honesty, the third eye with the heart chakra. So again, it's saying be honest with yourself, is how you're allowing yourself to express really where you want to go. This is also saying that some of you need to grow with your soulmate connection. So you're saying, oh, I perceive this with my third eye. This is what, is right. This is who I'm going to give all my heart chakra energy to. And it's a lie, or it's just not for now, or, it's not lining up exactly. So it's like you're growing in that area. Don't take it too hard, but know that you don't have the absolute truth end all be all when it comes to how you perceive your relationships, when it comes to who you think are your soulmates, have to be in your life, can't be in your life. There's more that you're learning there. So really work on that energy. Again, it could be going back to a lot of you are still living in like a scarcity mindset that might be enforced by the way that the world is right now, and you're working to really get out of that and overcome. We have a lot of green, abundant energy here. You're trying to live more heart-centered, manifest yourself out of very dire situations. Some of you have very dire situations that you've been through. But so again, as you're doing that, you're gonna realize more and more, you know what? When I feel secure, I don't feel like I have to cling to this person and say they're my soulmate, or, I don't feel like that. Basically, the basic things that were enough for me when I was having nothing, when I was in a place of need, it's actually not enough. Like I should be treated better than that. And so I don't need to cling to this person or think that they're my twin flame or soulmate or whatever. Like maybe that was just kind of energy to get you through because that's what you really needed to focus on. So there's going to be some big kind of changes when you honestly look at your soul connections, when you look at your romantic connections. You're going to have some changes of heart in general when you look at the greater world, and when you start having more wisdom and downloads from spirit, you're going to be like, shoot, I could have been more compassionate all these years. I could have been more open-minded. There's still more room for me to grow in these realms. And that's beautiful, because a lot of people, they start growing at a certain point and they just think that they're woke and they just think they're compassionate. They think they're open-minded. And then you try to live next to them and you're like, no, you ain't. I know you lying. Like... You are not open-minded and compassionate. So this is about continue to break any walls to your heart space. Continue to have universal enlightenment. Don't just get stuck to society's rules of relationships and stuff in this realm. There's some that are moral, right? You don't hurt children. You don't, certain things like that. Don't do domestic abuse. But there's certain things as far as who we can love, right? Love is love. We have spectrums of love and fitting in and self-expression. And the idea that just because some people made the rules for this time frame of the society, what they wanted it to look like, it's crazy, right? Especially if you're a spiritual person and you see these other lifetimes, past lifetimes, where the rules were different. The courting was different, engagement, whether there was marriage or not, however many people, like all those kind of things, right? So I think a lot of you are going to get much more open-minded and compassionate with what you connect with relationship wise, and that's where you're growing right now. All right, and what you believe for yourself might grow and change, and you have some standards that rise, and you might see that you're capable of giving out a more high quality, better love as well, which is beautiful. So thank you for working on that, because when we love at our absolute best and keep growing, it raises the whole quality vibration of the love on the planet. So that's why it's important we stay doing it. So thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and I will talk to you soon on another one. All right, last but certainly not least, we have number 4. There's been so much green energy in these readings on the backs of the cards. Let's see what you've got. Green, fuchsite, healing the heart chakra. This was a heart chakra reading, and very nature-based as well, as we have chasiolite, which is also called fairy crossstone. And we have Larimar, again, a lot of Piscean energy. It is Pisces moon right now and Neptune, and I am a Pisces. So a lot of vibes coming out here. All right, so what should you know right now? You got specifically healing the heart chakra. So some of the other options in various ways, different aspects of the heart chakra they were working on, but you in general, point blank, the whole thing, you are working on healing heart chakra energies. And it's interesting because there's this hand here holding the energy of the heart chakra. So you might feel that your heart has been in other people's hands, or that you finally just got it back into your own hands. It makes me think of, have you ever seen Howl's Moving Castle? Hello, Miyazaki, anime, yes. People always tell me that I'm like Sophie. Like that's the character I am from Miyazaki, is Sophie. Oh my gosh. So you have to watch it. But there's this whole thing with Howl's heart not being, he's a wizard, not being in him, but being elsewhere. And, you know, a witch that wants his heart, and, you know, who helps him win his heart back, and those kind of things. So, you know, sometimes people who want our hearts are not the best people to be given them to. And sometimes, you know, as the witch shows, we can start off very innocent, wanting someone's heart, being in love, but we can really get deranged with that and think that we're entitled to someone's heart when we're not. And the more that we feel rejected, the more we feel pushed away or in separation, as they say, or whatever, the more cloying and detrimental we get to that person's life spiritually, magically. You know, it just doesn't become a good look. So you are going to learn that when people want you to have their heart, they give it to you. And when you want someone to have your heart, they don't steal it, or, you know, all those other terms. You're empowered to give it to them or to withhold it. And you're learning a lot of boundaries, and it's going to take a lot of healing because you might not have been taught that. So when we're not taught those things young, we just feel like we have no control. There's no, you know, there's no way we can protect ourselves, and that's not true. I'm feeling right now, I'm putting on some rose oil. This is Bulgarian rose. I put it on. It's good for really healing. I'm putting it on my heart chakra, my throat. I just, you know, anoint all my chakras with it. It's super high vibrational, protective, brings in a very Venusian, loving, sensual energy. So I'm putting that on. I even like to put it on my, like, under my nose, so I get the aromatherapy right there. And so that might really help you guys to heal. Even when you feel, I feel like some of you feel in your physical body like the pain of loving, or the lack, like that ache of love that you didn't get throughout your life. So if you're feeling it physically, treat it physically as well. Nurture those parts of your body, because our body can hold, you know, that's how diseases can manifest, right? When our spirit is so hurt in certain ways, it will go to our physical body. Like you hear, like when couples have been together forever and one of them passes, and then the other one that's, you know, perfectly healthy will pass shortly after, and they'll say they died of a broken heart. That's why, you know, it's, that stuff can really affect us. So it's time to not overindulge in those things, to have some boundaries with yourself, and to really hold yourself responsible for your heart chakra healing. You know, sometimes, and look, I'm a Pisces, okay? So I know all about like being on the floor, not able to move after you had this great, deep, profound love, and something horrible happened, or you had to go your separate ways. I think those parts can be crushingly, beautifully human, you know, sometimes, to not to over romanticize them, but just in truth, like those are very poignant moments of our experience, and of compassion and love and empathy, to know how much we love someone. But if we don't, you know, get up after that and heal ourselves and continue to love and to love on ourselves, then those can become moments of abuse and of self-hatred. And that is actually tarnishing love. So if you love love in general, you have to allow yourself to have love as well. You're a human being too. If you believe in love for humanity and the world should be a better place, that means you too. Otherwise, if everyone else healed and had the best love and the best heart chakras, and you didn't, you would be the one bringing in the disease, right? That's something, that's actually a conversation that I got told, you know, pretty much verbatim from the universe myself when I was a young Pisces, and that hurt my feelings, because I was like, man, Like, I've been, I wasn't doing it perfect, right? It hurts when we don't do things perfect, heart chakra wise, when we're not loving perfect. But it was true. It was true. I wasn't loving myself and healing myself the way that I needed to. And so this is what you need to know right now. But it is an open hand. It's not a fist at you. It's an open hand saying, okay, time to heal now. All right. It's enough of that pain. What you should show right now, we have past loved ones. So some of you, it's because you've lost somebody that has passed away. It could be feeling disconnected from ancestors, disconnected. Some people might have lost a parent or grandparent very young, or even a child. You might have lost a hearing fiance or spouse. So it could be, that could be why it's been difficult. It says to, this is what to show though, is to show that you're still connected to them. This is root chakra. Show that you have roots. Show that, those relationships, it's okay to mention them. It's okay, depending on, I know there are, the Aboriginals, they don't, say someone's name after they've passed. So, barring all of those kind of things, but it's okay to know that people touched your life and that that's a part of you. For me, that was very empowering when I realized that I could talk about past relationships, and it was okay that they had an effect on me, that I grew, that for that part of my life, everything that I would reference, those people would be in them, I didn't have to get rid of part of my life or stop living. And I think it's important that you guys know that your loved ones who have passed away don't require that of you, that it's okay to go out and show them that you're living. I love in the movie P.S. I Love You, they actually go and eat sandwiches, like their favorite Irish sandwiches. They go to the cemetery and they eat them to show their loved ones who passed away, their ancestors, that they're doing well. And I think that's very beautiful. A lot of traditions, of course, we do that. It's okay to do well. It's okay to be the one who survives the relationship and goes on and finds happiness. It's okay to thrive and to feel connected. And again, we do have Mother Earth is really talking through this reading, because this is a fairy energy as well. So if you've been connected to the Fae, this is a stone that you actually go and leave in your yard for them, that they really like as an offering when they're being ornery or when they're bugging the animals. Sometimes they don't like, they'll bug the dogs or something, and I go out and I do, like, talk to the land for people. I do communication with trees and different things, and yes, they spill the tea and the secrets, so they usually give me information that only the landowners would know, and I'm able, so that I can verify to them, like, no, these are sentient beings, they're communicating. But the Fae are very funny, because they really like crystals and stones, and they like that one a lot. And usually once that is given to them, they'll pipe down and be like, okay, I feel respected. So some of you might have some ancestors that want you to show them love, or someone who's passed away who's like, hey, I'm talking to you. They might be showing you things, and this is just their confirmation. And in the root chakra, it could be very real. You might have physical signs that you're seeing around. They're very close to home. It could also be a good time to go and leave things on their grave site. Also, I'm seeing some of you are in the crossroads right now, and it's okay to let people know that you're in the crossroads, that you're in a time that you might be changing your opinion or style on life. It's, those who come before you have done so, and it's okay. All right, and for the last one, it's cutting me off. I'm running out of space. The last one, what you should grow, we have Larimar, water, ocean, and throat chakra. So again, this reading throughout this whole pick a card, there's been a big conservation, pay attention to Mother Earth. I said it in one of the other options that this morning there was like the highest temperature at some of the polar caps that there's ever been in humanity, some of the highest emissions, that kind of thing. So really pay attention to water and the ocean, to honor it, to, if you donate, if you're looking for things like that, try to do it in places to help, clean the water, make sure that people have fresh water. Shout out to all my water protectors. Water is life, Minnie Wachoni, all of those kind of things. Do your water prayers, your water blessings, work with the element of water if you are a magical practitioner or in your spiritual practice. Really, learn from the water. Remember how sacred and precious it is. I'm here seeing the ocean stone and told to put that there. That's ocean jasper. You know, go and meditate with the water. Every time you use water, bless it. Remember that water, scientifically, you can see it, the crystalline structure will change with the energy that we put towards it. I have a whole deck about that. The Water Crystal Oracle, look up Masaru Emoto. He did a whole study on it. You can see the results and everything. It's documented. So I think there's a documentary about him too. All right, so connecting with water, this is also connecting with your throat and sacral chakra, having your energy flow, stay hydrated, communicate more empathetically with others, kind of go with the flow and look into the deeper meanings, not just the words people are saying, but the feelings. Sometimes we get our words wrong. I think that you are working on communicating more clearly and from a purer place, and that's excellent. That's great. Also work on channeling. Some of you could be good automatic writers. You might write stories or something and then notice that you told truths about yourself or channeled spiritual information through them. Expression and the arts are very big for you right now to work and grow in. Yes, so yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you. So I hope that this reading resonated with you. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I will talk to you soon on another one.